Buongiorno, siamo qui con Non Solo Anno ma TV a Milano e a fianco a me ero Martina. You have studied medicine and pursued a sporting career. Even now you're engaged in several factors from health to coaching and so on. What is the secret to find time to manage multiple commitments and remaining in balance?
Okay, the most important thing is to have a basic routine, some things you have to incorporate in your life. So when you wake up in the morning, do you take some time to exercise, meditate? I meditate every morning, sometimes just in the shower. So you build up routines that become part of your life, just like brushing your teeth. And it should not be like long hours. I don't meditate for 2 hours. I meditate for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know, sometimes I exercise just for 15 minutes. So depending on the time, if I have more time, I do more. And for me, it's not about discipline, it's about passion. I just love what I do. So then it's easy than when you have to force yourself. But if you discipline yourself for a while, it becomes part of your life, and then you don't know better. Nobody thinks about brushing their teeth. It's just part of your life. So it becomes a habit, and then it becomes routine, and then you keep on following your goals. You need to have clear goals. Where do you want to go, and how do you want to improve yourself? So every day you work on that by little bits and pieces, not big chunks at a time.
Many people trying to change, but they always find obstacles in their personality, you know? It seems that we were alone, it's not enough, or they cannot undermine the world of subconscious or the energy patterns that come from the past. So what do you think, how to activate and keep the changes we desire?
All right. The problem is that most people want to change from the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is just 10% of your power. So what we need to learn is to more master our subconscious mind. And one of the techniques that I use is visualization. So you need to keep focus on your goals, visualizing it, start to live it, feel it in your body. It's like I'm living two lives. One is reality and one is fantasy. And by keeping that fantasy alive, step by step they become one. And in science we know that the conscious mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. So, you know, I'm living in both worlds, and then all of a sudden they come together, and then you will not sabotage yourself anymore, because you keep in your mind the imagination alive all the time, every day. And I think that's the big secret, nothing else than that. We have 2 moments in a day when we can influence our mind, our bodies, and everything. That's in the morning when you wake up, and at night when you go to sleep. So what I would advise you to do is make notes, maybe, you know, on the cabin next to your bed, that you write something down to the first thing you wake up in the morning, that you decide, you close your eyes, and for that moment, beam into your day what you want. You want to make this day a happy day, a day where you feel empowered. And you say to yourself, I will not allow anyone to take away my power. And visualize that. See all the challenges that may come that day, and you stay grounded. You stay connected with your heart. Whatever happens, you stay loving and open. That takes you only 2 or 3 minutes in the morning. Before you go to sleep at night, what you do is you clean your body. You just imagine standing on a waterfall of pure energy, cleaning out all the stress of your body, all the disease, all the negative energy you picked up during the day, and then visualize that while you're sleeping, your body's regenerating itself. Also, see your future, that you're getting healthier every day. You're becoming biologically younger. If you take 3 to 4 minutes before you go to sleep, and you visualize this, your life will change. I guarantee you that. Just start practicing. Within 2 or 3 weeks, you will feel much better, happier, powerful, and a big smile on your face. That's the secret.
So how do we know if a change we want is actually evolving?
In my opinion, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, the only thing that really matters is the person you are becoming on your path. So are you becoming more open, more loving, more fun, more warm? You know, that's what life is all about. That's evolution. And the goals are less important. It doesn't matter where they come from. Are they taking you away from yourself, from that power of being connected to love, to passion? That's the whole thing. And if you have a goal that is very materialistic, but you become more open, more loving, and more enjoying life, that's wonderful. And it should never be at the sacrifice of your health, your relationships, and those things. We need to constantly look for the balance for health, success, career, family. And that's the tough part to do, to find enough time for everything and to incorporate that in your life.
And you talk often about people's dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain something about how that works and how you can make peace with it?
You know, dark side sounds very creepy, almost like a horror movie. It's not. The dark side is much more that what you do not know, but is influencing you. So for me, the dark side is if I react very emotionally to something, and there's no reason for me to react to that, that's the dark side. It's the shadow side. So in life, we often react from our shadow sides, and we have no control over it. And that's what I teach in my workshops. One of the workshops we do is called Emotional Mastery. And that's where we learn to look at the dark side. Where does it come from? And what you'll discover is that most of it comes from when we're young, and we didn't have the tools how to deal with emotions, how to deal with abuse, those kind of things, traumas. And in the rest of our lives, we need still to learn how to do that. So the dark side is not bad, it's just part of us that's not healed yet, or part of us that we don't know yet. Most importantly is to become aware of your reactions and stop blaming people outside of yourself, but understand it's inside of you that what makes you react. And then you have to make peace with it. So the most simple thing is to go back and visualize the conversation and imagine that you're doing it the way you want to do it, in a different way. That would be the first step.
You are very famous and you have always been a brilliant and healthy person. Is that from in the past you were always the same person? You say when it's just something that you grew in your life?
I started at 6 years with judo, and I have the need to win. I never wanted to lose. I was motivated from young on to train. And then when I was in class, I was motivated because the doctors told me my brains were damaged and I could not learn. So I was motivated by pain, and that was my drive. So I wanted to learn. I wanted to show to doctors that I was okay. Yeah. So I had a lot of drive, a lot of motivation in my life. And it doesn't mean that everything always went perfect, of course not. But I'm a very optimistic person. I believe that there is no failure, there's only an experience. And from that experience you grow, you become wise, you become smarter. I made so many stupid mistakes in my life that hopefully I will not make them in the future anymore. So, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, now a lot of things are easier, but still there are many challenges. You know, especially as you become more known, more successful, balancing your life becomes more challenging. To have enough time for your relationship. Thank God my children are older, but they needed time. So it was complicated. It was not easy. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying we need to be clear on where we want to go. We fall down, but we get up and we motivate ourselves again and we continue. That's my secret.
We read a lot of things in your books about angels.
Yes.
Could you tell something about what is your connection with it? Do you have it? Did you see them?
Well, I'm not so much a seer, but I had some, I would say, interventions. When I was 19 years old, I had a car accident, broke my neck, and a nurse came into my room, touched my forehead, and then 2 days later I woke up again and my neck was healed, my vertebrae were healed. So later, much later, I understand that must have been an angel, because I could never find the nurse back. And once in a while I have the idea that I hear voices or that I'm guided. You know, I've always this feeling that I'm protected. Many times things happen and I'm surprised that I didn't die in a car accident or that I just moved away when something bad happened. So I'm a believer there are guardian angels that protect us, that can heal us. I visualize them. So maybe it's my fantasy, but I can feel the energy of them working with me. So it doesn't matter if you believe in them or not, but if you work with them and open up yourself, you will notice a difference. So I believe absolutely in angels. I wrote a book about it, and I believe even more that angels work through people. So when you do something good for a stranger, you are the angel. And that's what my book is all about. It's called Angels All Around Us. And it explains how angels work through human beings, and not always like with wings and stuff like that. It's the energy that's important for me.
Well, we know now that there's a lot of going on in the world now. You have the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, the earthquake in Japan, tsunami here and there. So how do we have to watch all these events? What do you think? What's going on with the humanity in the world in this moment and in the future?
Right. Right now we're going from one crisis to another. In my opinion, all my life I've never seen it's coming so fast. I mean, we're just recovering from one thing, the other thing happened. We have, Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, Japan, Osama, Gaddafi, all these things happen so fast. And so, in my opinion, things are speeding up. And eventually, the whole planet has to change its consciousness, because we are no longer just the enemies. The dictators have to go. But we also will have common things to work on. The moment Japan is in trouble, all of us want to send love and healing to Japan. So we are being prepared, in my opinion, it's preparation for something bigger that's coming. It could be a world crisis where everything that we know is going to disappear, and that we have to work together to come out of it, because we are destroying this planet, and if we continue doing what we're doing, we won't have a planet anymore. So something needs to change. I personally believe it's no coincidence. This is like a big divine plan, and either we're going to come together, work as one, or we're going to self-destruct and the planet is gone. So I think it's good. The bad is good to lead us to the good.
We know that you're going to do a course in November in Italy. It's about the fears, because we know that a lot of people have fears and they don't know how to handle all this energy and all the things that's going on. Can you tell me something a little bit more about this?
Yeah, because of just what we spoke about, the acceleration of everything. It has to do also that as a consciousness on the whole planet, fear is becoming stronger. And fear is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're afraid of dogs, the dogs smell it, it will come to you. If you're afraid that your house will be burglarized, it's like burglars feel it, and you will have a bigger chance of being burglarized. So we're living in a time now where fear is getting more and more intense. And even if you're not aware of it, it's affecting you. So in November, I'm giving this 4-day workshop where we're going to give people the tools how to change the fear into power, because fear is just energy. So if you don't know how to use it, it destroys you. If you know how to use it, you change it into the power of do action, power of love, power of collaborating, power to overcome your challenges, your sabotage. So I believe it's one of the most important workshops I will ever do, because we also have this belief, this sort of Damocles hanging over our heads, and that's 21st of December 2012, where in history the Mayan calendar stops. In the Egyptian pyramids, also in the timeline that's built in the pyramids, it stopped exactly on the date. So what did the Egyptians and the Mayans knew based on astrology that we don't know? And we need now to make those changes before it's too late, and that's what this workshop is all about. It's something I would recommend anyone who's worried, who is concerned, who is afraid, feels insecure because of what's happening in this world. This is the workshop you need to do in order to understand what's happening and to change the beliefs inside of you to become more in your power.
Che della cosa più importante, come diceva il dottor Roy Martina, è che in questo momento qui tutti noi viviamo nelle paure, e non le paure solo che sono impastate dai nostri genitori, ma anche noi cosa viviamo tutti i giorni. Quindi per questo volevamo anche condividere con voi questo corso e workshop speciale che faremo con Roy Martina a novembre in Italia, per gestire il nostro equilibrio emozionale, le nostre paure, le nostre ansie, le nostre fobie, per progettare sul futuro. Tante persone si ammalano, l'energia è talmente forte in questo momento, 2011 sta trasformando completamente, che persone non sanno più come gestire la situazione. Quindi vi aspettiamo al corso, e puoi trovare tutte le informazioni su www.roymartina.it, e per qualsiasi informazione si può anche chiamare su 800 14 55 82. Grazie mille, a presto.